Constitution clear, and is it enforced? Do our citizens understand it? Do our leaders live by it? Key concepts of the Constitution. To better reflect individual political cultures and traditions, assert inherent governing values, our powers, and enhance the accountability of elected officials, strengthen government stability, provide a sound foundation for the increased exercise of sovereignty. So what that means is we as a people say who we are and how we affect our leaders and how we govern ourselves. It's a big part of self-governance. Right now, our Constitution is that we have self-governance in different programs, but our Constitution, we're still being governed by the BIA. So it's really important that we have this, that we have this amendment election. Purpose of Constitution Convention is a fundamental exercise of self-determination, self-governance, and sovereignty. To update, upgrade, and strengthen the Constitution will lead to a better form of government, create a stronger nation for future generations. Doing this Constitution Convention is because a Constitution has to be expandable and retractable for any timeline. And it's up to its leaders through different decades to do that, to amend their Constitution, because citizens evolve. Your Constitution should evolve with you. The Pawnee Nation Constitution was adopted pursuant to the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act of June 26, 1936, which superseded the Constitution approved by the Secretary of the Interior on November 26, 1937, and ratified on January 6, 1938 as amended. The Constitution has been revised and amended by referendum vote on July 14, 1998, January 4, 2003, June 14, 2008, and further revised for referendum vote on May 1st, 2021. And now we're wanting to do that again in 2026. And like I said, the biggest piece of this, along with other things you'll see that are very needed in our Constitution, is that we're not asking the BIA to tell us we can do something. We are removing that power from the BIA and we're giving it back to ourselves. Does that make sense? That's why it's called a secretarial election. Okay, and you're up.
Say that again, repeat the last sentence again, the last paragraph that you just said. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yes, that the reason why we're having, why it's called a secretarial election is because currently the Secretary of the Interior has to approve our Constitution because our Constitution says that. So that's why we have to do this election by the laws of the BIA. That's why the BIA says you have to have a mail-in ballot. Even though we can use our own election commission, we have to follow their guidelines. But that's one of the amendments we're going to make and that we're asking people to vote on.
My name is Angela Thompson. My Pawnee name is Dekekawikawahara, and I'm glad to be here to present in front of you all today. Slide 10. How is the Pawnee Nation currently governed? The Pawnee Nation operates under a constitution and consisting of a preamble and 15 articles. While the governing structure identifies the Pawnee Business Council and the Pawnee Nation courts as primary branches of government, it also maintains a third distinct traditional body, the Chiefs Council, the Nassau Council, and also known as the Chiefs Council. And that's very important. A lot of, as Jennifer was stating that through the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act, a lot of the government was giving all these boilerplate constitutions. But the tribe, the Pawnee Nation, kept the Chiefs Council in there because that was a part of our traditional governance back in the day. So that's very unique and distinct because a lot of tribes in Oklahoma did not do that. They just went with the boilerplates. Slide 11, preamble. The preamble is an introductory statement that outlines the general goals and objectives of the document it introduces. It serves as both legal bridge as it sets the stage for the entire document providing context for the specific articles and amendments that follow, and includes a declaration of intent. Slide 12. Purpose, territory and jurisdiction. Territory and jurisdiction article serves as the legal boundary for a nation's authority. This article often provides precise definition. The enrollment article of a constitution is vital for defining citizenship and establishing the legal identity of the nation. These provisions ensure clarity in membership criteria and the governance of the enrollment process. Slide 14. The governing body. The governing body article serves as the structural heart of the nation's administration. This article defines the who and how of political leadership or political governance. Slide 15. Duties of officers. The duties of officers article is essential for ensuring accountability and the smooth functioning of the nation's administration by explicitly defining what each leader is responsible for. The Constitution prevents the overlap of authority and ensures that government business is conducted transparently. Vacancies. The vacancies article ensures that the nation remains functional and stable even when a leadership position unexpectedly becomes empty. Slide 17. Key concepts. The key concepts describe the principles and functions often associated with the creation and implementation of a constitution for the operation of a stable, self-governing political system. Thank you. I'm going to hand it off.
I will be going over slides 15 through 25. If we could hit slide 17 again. I think I had a misnomer. For popular participation? Correct. This article provides for elections beyond regular elections of officials. These provisions establish a viable system of checks and balances by enabling direct public involvement in governance. Slide 18. Constitutional powers. The constitutional powers article provides a definitive map of a tribe's legal authority. This article is designed to precisely distribute power among governing entities while guarding the tribe's inherent sovereignty. Slide 19. This article outlines the core principles of establishing an independent judiciary with defined powers, ensuring judges are free from political pressure to maintain impartiality and uphold the rule of law. Slide 20. A Bill of Rights article serves as a primary legal mechanism for protecting individual liberties by placing explicit limitations on government authority. It empowers citizens by defining the boundary between personal freedom and government power. It serves as a critical legal shield, ensuring that the government cannot overstep its authority to infringe upon fundamental rights of its citizens. Slide 21. Amendment articles ensure the Constitution is a living document that can adapt to changes. However, these articles are designed to make changing the supreme law, the Constitution, harder than passing regular legislation. Slide 22. Articles governing meetings are essential for maintaining orderly governance and public transparency. They help provide a structural framework that ensures fairness, efficiency, and accountability in the decision-making process. Slide 23.
This article's primary function is to prevent a legal vacuum by ensuring that existing laws do not automatically expire when a new constitution or major amendment is adopted. Slide 24. This article, severability, is a standard legal insurance policy for any governing document. Its purpose is to ensure that a single error, legal error, or conflict with higher laws does not cause the entire Constitution to be thrown out. It reflects the enacting body's intent to keep the valid parts functional, even if a specific portion of that Constitution is legally challenged. This provision is a safeguard against total nullification of a tribe's constitution laws. Sovereign immunity. And this is a new article that we have introduced. And this article reserves the foundation legal doctrine derived from the inherent sovereignty of Native American tribes. It recognizes Native American tribes as self-governing, protecting them from lawsuits in federal, state, and tribal courts without their consent. It also allows tribes the ability to protect tribal assets, pursue economic development, and maintain their cultural way of life without the constant threat of external litigation. End of slides. Next, we will have a review of the proposed Constitution amendments.
Yeah. All right, we got a thick document here, and I was trying to make sure that they're not wanting us to read every single word in it for you. So we're gonna bounce back and forth on this. So Amendment A, so this is the first one that you'll be asked to vote on, is changing the name of the tribe from Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma to Pawnee Nation throughout the Constitution. A yes vote removes all references to, quote, of Oklahoma, end quote, when mentioning the Pawnee Nation and the limited scope of the state of Oklahoma, which leaves out Pawnee traditional territory. This will include all lands historically claimed by the Pawnee Nation and not just the territory in Oklahoma. A no vote means the section remains as is and all references to, quote, of Oklahoma, end quote, will remain.
Amendment B, changing the words membership, member to citizen, citizenship throughout the Constitution. A yes vote means that every person who is properly enrolled will now be called citizens of the nation rather than members of a specific group. A no vote means this section remains as is.
Amendment C, changing the naming of the Chiefs Council from, quote, Nasharo to, quote, Desadu throughout the Constitution. A yes vote means to change the Chiefs Council to the proper Pawnee language and dialect. A no vote means the section remains as is.
Amendment D, remove the Secretary of the Department of Interior from all articles throughout the Constitution. A yes vote means to remove any and all reference to the Secretary reflecting the nation's inherent sovereign authority to govern itself. A no vote means the section referring to the Secretary remains as is.
Amendment E, this is the preamble. The Pawnee Nation, well, I'm going to read the whole thing. So a yes vote means to introduce and adopt an amended constitution, define the nation's purpose, goals, hopes, and aspirations of the Pawnee people, incorporate Pawnee language and dialect, remove the reference to the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act, and affirm the nation's inherent sovereignty. A no vote means the section remains as is.
Amendment F. The Pawnee Nation Constitution currently reads, the name of this organization is the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. A yes vote means to remove the reference to the nation as an organization and reaffirm that the nation is a sovereign nation and remove the reference of Oklahoma. A no vote means this section remains as is.
Amendment G, I had to look up to see if everybody's following along. The Pawnee Nation currently reads, it's about the purpose. Flip over here. A yes vote means to revise this article for easier reading and understanding, to add references to Pawnee Nation cultural resources, and to affirm that nothing in the Constitution will impair or limit the nation's inherent right to exercise jurisdiction and sovereign authority. The no vote means the section remains as is.
Amendment H. The Pawnee Nation Constitution currently reads, Section 1, the current membership of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma shall consist of A, all persons enrolled or entitled to be enrolled on the official annuity base roll of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma as of February 19th, 1937. And B, all children born of lawful marriage between members of the Pawnee since the date of the said roll. C, all children of 1/4, 1/4, or more Pawnee Indian blood born on or after February 9th, 1938 of a lawful marriage of an enrolled member. Section 2, the future membership of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma after the adoption of this Constitution shall include any individual who applies for membership and possesses at least 1/8 degree Indian, Pawnee Indian blood as amended on January 4th, 2003 on amended number 1. Section 3, Pawnee Business Council shall have power to prescribe rules and regulations covering future membership of the Pawnee Nation, including the approval and loss of membership provided. I, such rules and regulations shall be subject to the review of the Nasharo Council. 2, a person shall not be eligible for membership if enrolled as a member of another Indian tribe. And this is what it would be changed to. Article 3, Citizenship of the Pawnee Nation. Section 1, all persons shall be eligible for citizenship of the Pawnee Nation provided they are enrolled and whose name appears on the official annuity base roll of the Pawnee Nation as of February 9th, 1937. B, lineally descended from any enrolled citizen listed on the official annuity base roll of the Pawnee Nation as of February 19th, 1937. Section 2, the Pawnee Business Council shall have the power to prescribe rules and regulations covering future membership of the Pawnee Nation, including the approval and loss of citizenship provided. A, such rules and regulations shall be subject to the review of the Asadu Council. 3, no person shall be eligible for Pawnee Nation citizenship if enrolled as a citizen or a member of another tribe. A yes vote means to simplify this article to better clarify and readability to integrate the Pawnee language and dialect. It also removes blood quantum requirement for enrollment in the Pawnee Nation. Eligibility will now be based on lineal descent, provided the descendant is listed on the official annuity base roll of the Pawnee Nation as of February 19th, 1937. A no vote means this section remains as is.
Thought that was long. Amendment I. The Pawnee Nation currently reads, the Pawnee Business Council, the supreme governing body of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma, shall be the Pawnee Business Council, which shall consist of 8 members. Section 2, subject to the limitations imposed by this Constitution and applicable federal law, the Pawnee Business Council shall exercise all the inherent statutory and treaty powers of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma by the enactment of legislation, the transaction of business, and by otherwise speaking or acting on behalf of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma on all matters which the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma is empowered to act, including the authority to hire legal counsel to represent the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. Section 3, all acts regarding membership or claims or treaty rights of the Pawnee Business Council shall be subject to review by the Nasharo Council in accordance with its constitution. Section 4, the present Pawnee Business Council members shall serve until the next regular election or until their successors are elected and installed, provided. Okay. I, subsection I, the Pawnee Business Council shall provide an election commission to conduct all elections, provided that regular elections are held on the first Saturday in May of each odd-numbered year. Subsection 2, no member of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma 18 years of age or older shall be denied the right to vote by secret ballot, either in person or by absentee ballot, provided that no write-in votes shall be allowed. Subsection 3, members of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma 25 years of age or older shall be eligible for election to the Pawnee Business Council. Members of the Pawnee Nation convicted of a felony or dishonorably discharged from the armed forces of the United States of America are ineligible for candidacy. Subsection 4, at the first regular election after the adoption of this Constitution in 1999, the President, Treasurer, and the first and second council members shall be elected to a 4-year term, and the Vice President, Secretary, and third and fourth council members shall be elected to a 2-year term in order to stagger the terms of office. Subpoint A, candidates shall declare the position they are seeking. Subpoint B, if there are positions which are vacant due to lack of candidates, those positions shall be considered vacant and filled according to Article 6. Thereafter, all members of the Pawnee Business Council shall be elected to a 4-year term of office and shall serve until their successors shall be duly installed in office. In cases when a vacancy is being filled to complete an unexpired term due to death, resignation, forfeiture, or recall of a Pawnee Business Council member, a successor will be appointed pursuant to Article 6 of this Constitution. Subsection 5, a Nasharo Council member shall resign his/her position if elected or appointed to the Pawnee Business Council. Subsection 6, a Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma employee shall resign his/her position if elected or appointed to the Pawnee Business Council. Subsection 7, a Pawnee Business Council member shall not be eligible for employment by the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. Subsection 8, elected members of the Pawnee Business Council shall be inaugurated and sworn into office 14 calendar days after the election. Subsection 9, Pawnee Business Council records and all related documentation for each outgoing Pawnee Business Council member shall be made available to the newly elected Pawnee Business Council members. Failure to comply shall result in ineligibility to file for candidacy for the Pawnee Business Council for 10 years or until records and documents are returned. Section 5, All acts of the Pawnee Business Council shall be determined by a majority vote of the membership present, provided 5 members of the council shall constitute a quorum to transact business. In the event of a tie, the chairperson or chairperson pro tem shall cast the deciding vote. Section 6. Regular quarterly meetings of the Pawnee Business Council shall be held on the first Saturday in February, June, August, and November of each year in a place designated by the Pawnee Business Council, provided, subpoint I, or 1, special meetings may be called by the president. Subpoint 2, special meetings shall be called by the president within 2 weeks after receiving a written request by regular mail or by certified and returned receipt mail from a majority of the occupied Pawnee Business Council positions, provided, A, if the president fails to call and conduct a special meeting as requested within 2 weeks, a majority of the occupied members of the Pawnee Business Council shall be authorized to call and conduct a special meeting by affixing their signatures to a document listing in detail the need for the meeting and citing this section of the Constitution as their authority to meet. B, a minimum of 2 days' notice of all meetings, regular or special, shall be published in a newspaper and posted in public view, provided that in an emergency, posting in public view for 2 days shall be deemed sufficient notice. Notice shall include the agenda. Section 7, all members of the Pawnee Business Council shall attend tribal constitution orientation classes as prescribed by the Pawnee Business Council. So this will be amended. Give me a second. A yes vote means to revise this article to improve clarity and readability, include Pawnee language and dialect, move the citizens' rights to vote to the appropriate article, Bill of Rights, and specify eligibility requirements for candidacy, term limits, and meeting procedures. A no vote means the section remains as is.
Everybody still with us?
What page are you on?
11,
I'm clear to 23, see?
we're on amendment J.
You're slow.
It's your sunglasses. Amendment J. The Pawnee Nation Constitution currently reads, Article 5, Duties of Officers. Section 1, the President shall preside at all meetings of the Pawnee Business Council, joint meetings of the Pawnee Business Council and the Sharo Council, and all general meetings, and shall vote only in the case of a tie. The President shall have general supervision of the affairs of the Pawnee Business Council and shall perform all duties pertaining to the office of the President. The President shall administer oaths, affirmations, and when required or permitted, the President shall be bonded. Section 2. In the absence of the President, the Vice President shall perform the duties of that office. In the case of vacancy, the Vice President shall succeed at once to the office of the President. The Vice President shall be bonded. Section 3, the Secretary shall be responsible for the following duties: record the proceedings of all meetings of the Pawnee Business Council and the Sharo Council and all special meetings as assigned to the Pawnee Business Council. 2, prepare the agenda for meetings of the Pawnee Business Council. 3, maintain all records and files of the Pawnee Business Council, all records and files of the Pawnee Business Council except such records as shall be explicitly made exempt by law, shall be public information to any member of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. 4, maintain the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma official membership roll. 5, attest to enactments of the Pawnee Business Council. 6, in the absence of the President and Vice President, call to order regular and special meetings of the Pawnee Business Council until a chairman pro tem is selected. 7, perform the duties of the treasurer in the absence of the treasurer. 8, the secretary shall be bonded. Section 4, the treasurer shall be responsible for the following duties. 1, receive the funds of all sources for which the Pawnee Business Council is held accountable and maintain financial records which shall reflect the actual receipts and disbursements of all funds and which shall reflect the financial position of the Pawnee Nation of Oklahoma. 2, deposit funds from any and all sources for which the Pawnee Business Council is held accountable in an assured bank or other approved financial institution. 3, disperse by check the funds of any and all funds for which the Pawnee Business Council, all checks shall be signed by the treasurer and countersigned by the president. 4, an annual independent audit of all funds for which the Pawnee Nation Council is held accountable. 5, the present financial status reports and budget reports as determined by the Pawnee Business Council. 6, perform the duties of secretary in the absence of secretary. 7, the treasurer shall be bonded. Section 1, the president of the Pawnee Business Council, this is what it would be amended to. Section 1, the president of the Pawnee Business Council shall A, preside at all general meetings of the Pawnee Business Council, and joint meetings of the Pawnee Business Council and the Esadu Council. B, vote only in case of a tie in all general meetings or acts of the Pawnee Business Council and joint meetings of the Pawnee Business Council and the Esadu Council. C, dutifully support the Constitution and laws of the Pawnee Nation. D, ensure that all decisions of the Pawnee Business Council are faithfully executed, administered, and enforced. E, administer oaths, affirmations when required or permitted. F, be bonded. G, be authorized to countersign checks disbursed by the treasurer according to the requirements of Article 5, Section 4 of this Constitution. H, call special meetings under the authority granted by Article 4, Section 6 of this Constitution. I, unless authorized by this Constitution, the President shall not take any action unless directed by the Pawnee Business Council. Section 2, in the absence of the President, the Vice President shall perform the duties of that office. In case of vacancy, the Vice President shall succeed at once to the office of the President. The Vice President shall be bonded. Section 3, the Secretary shall be responsible for the following duties: record the proceedings of all meetings of the Pawnee Business Council and the Esadu Council and all special meetings as assigned to the Pawnee Business Council. B, prepare the agenda for meetings of the Pawnee Business Council. C, maintain all records and files of the Pawnee Business Council. Record all records and files of the Pawnee Business Council except such records as shall be explicitly made exempt by law shall be public information to any member of the Pawnee Nation. Maintain Pawnee Nation official membership roll. E, attest enactments of the Pawnee Business Council. F, in the absence of the President and Vice President, call to the order regular and special meetings of the Pawnee Business Council until a chairman pro tem is selected. G, perform duties of the treasurer in the absence of the treasurer. And H, the secretary shall be bonded. Section 4, the duties. Receive funds from all sources for which Pawnee Business Council is held accountable and maintain financial records that shall reflect actual receipts and disbursements of all funds and which shall reflect the financial position of the Pawnee Nation. B, deposit funds from any and all sources for which the Pawnee Business Council is held accountable in an assured bank or other approved financial institution. C, disperse funds for which the Pawnee Business